Hey, what's up, guys? How's it going? This is Enrique, and this is Easy Things to Draw. What's up? How's life? Today I'm going to talk about balancing your social life with art. This is more or less I'm just going to draw, right? Just to talk. So, let me see. I'm going to be talking about this subject at the same time. I'm going to just kind of draw whatever I can think of. So this one is not going to be as much of a, well, I don't know, this is going to be somewhat of a advice, and it's somewhat of a kind of like life, just kind of life update on me. I don't often give those, like, ever, really. I don't really talk about my own life very much, so, but there were like those podcast ones I had, we tried out with me and Lyndon. Those were okay. I might do that again pretty soon, but for now, this one I'm just going to talk off the cuff about that. I'm going to talk about that because I've been, something that has entered my life would be the balancing of kind of social life with, just drawing and things of that sort. So the thing about social life is, I remember toward the beginning, I really didn't need it, right? I really didn't need a social life at all. And you might be in that place right now as well, where you're like, who cares about hanging out? That's totally valid, and I respect that, because it can give you great things, you know? I think that was almost the primary reason I actually learned to draw in the first place. I completely threw away my social life for about 2 to 3 years, and only concentrated on art, only art, and that was pretty rewarding for what it was. That's where I was in my life. I didn't care about it, didn't care about going out ever. Things started changing for sure as I got older, because that's when I was like 19. Things got way different the older I got, especially around 21, 22. I wanted to kind of, get out there more, because a big part of that was making up for lost time. Because at 21, I remember I was perfectly fine not having almost any friends. I had friends at, school a little bit. Those were more of acquaintances, not people you hang out with. The more, I started kind of talking to people, the more I kind of liked it. People like being social. Even some of the more quieter people I know, they do like being social, at times. I don't know. I think it's almost something like a human's need, right? They need something, whether it be people online, things of that sort. I was really buried on the internet at the time as well. I was really buried into kind of like certain forums. I remember one of the main forums I was really a part of was the Jet Li forum, which is weird, right? Jet Li's that Chinese actor. Really awesome movies, and he had a really good forum at the time. I think the forum is pretty much non-existent now, but he had a really good one, and you kind of knew everybody there, and then you see the drama every day, you see the regulars. They had that system of like the more you post, I think they have that somewhere, right? They still have those in forums. The more you post, the kind of different ranking you get. You're like a noob or whatever. Just the really typical stuff. But I remember I didn't really like reality so much at the time. So I would kind of do this escapism into certain video games, certain TV shows, certain things like that. It was just pure escapism. Didn't hate my life. I just thought, hey, this, that fantasy was cooler. and I think, I forget what it was, around 22, I kind of was like, man, I need to get out into reality, need to make real friends, stuff like that sort. I remember a very funny thing about that would be, I was dating a girl at about 23, 22, 22, something like that. And she was angry that I was not introducing her to my friends, But, little did she know I had no friends at the time. And don't be sad about that. I mean, I had, again, acquaintances, stuff like that. I had people I worked with, at SeaWorld and stuff like that. I had, people I knew a little bit at school. But I didn't really have a circle of friends I could introduce her to. Really strange, It was one of those things I never told her. Never told her. I was too embarrassed at the time. But what ended up starting to happen was I met a few other artists. I met my best friend, who is still my best friend to this day. His name's Vince. He was a graphic designer, and I met him I met him at school, actually, at junior college called Southwestern College. JC. It was basically like high school too. Where right after high school, everybody went there. Where you're just like, wow, you just see everybody from high school. And if you didn't really want that, it wasn't the greatest. But I met him there. We hung out. We were like brothers, that kind of thing. And he ended up moving away. So it was the only social life I had for a while. He ended up moving away, I think about a couple years after that. And but through that time, right, that was just enough of a social life that I needed. I still did art hardcore. That was really all I needed was that one friend, But through that, also at that time, I was very, how do you say that? I was still struggling with this balance of like, hey, let's go out and do something. Because I would get up, sometimes sit at my desk, draw all day. Sometimes I would obviously eat in between and shower and all that. But then I would just go to sleep. Right? It was very strange to kind of just sit there in your house. And I know some of you live in this experience now, Especially if you like work in a certain field, you will do something like that. If you work from the house doing freelance, you will experience stuff like that, You'll just sit, you'll get up in the morning, go to your computer, go to your drawing board, and you will draw, right? Or do whatever you need to do whatever your creative art you do, whether it be computer based, go to sleep, and that's it. You spent your entire day in one room. That starts I used to be really good at that. I used to spend like 4 days in a row, 5 days in a row in my house, in my room, even just alone. But it started, again, you grow and you change as a person. It just started not being enough for me. Started really kind of craving more out of life, and especially with my best friend Vince. And after him, I hung out with this big group of people that it was actually an artist I knew from. I actually was a caricature artist at SeaWorld. It was an artist from there, and I kind of hung out with him and his group of friends. And those are my close friends for even till now, really, actually. But we were really, really close for about a couple of years. But that is, again, too, the more I went out, the more I the less my art would improve or even sometimes recede. And it was a very strange experience to kind of have that happen to me. On one hand, you're much happier. I stopped playing as many video games, which, by the way, I love video games. I don't play as many right now. I should play more. But I didn't play video games for escapism anymore. I didn't try to disappear into that world. It was more of a, oh, this is cool, I just want to play this game. like the way I watch a movie. I was no longer escaping into stuff. The online community stuff, I stopped going on as much. I didn't need it. I started craving more, like, interaction with people in real life. It was going pretty good, like my values changed as, like I said, time went on. Then, like I said, the hard part really started, where it was like, wow, I, really left art for a couple of years. I completely left it. And I needed to get back where I was. And that was really hard to do. I left art completely for a while. And I wouldn't say completely, because I was drawing at SeaWorld. I was drawing caricatures. But the caricatures, I don't know, you get in that, you don't really learn and grow as a person unless you want to do that job as a career. If you want to do that caricature job as a career, then you will grow as an artist. But if you don't really want to do that job, like me, I didn't really want to do it past year one, and I was there for like 4 or 5 years. If I didn't want to do it past year one, you don't really expand how good you are. You won't practice as much. You just kind of like go through the motions of it, and you don't really grow as an individual or as an artist. You will kind of grow as a salesman, but even there's a limit on that as well. So that was kind of where I was at the time. And it's still a struggle, I'm not going to lie. I mean, you have to figure out the balance that you want at the moment, because you might be at the point where you don't really care, right, about having any semblance of a social life. And that is, honestly, for some people, that really works throughout most of their life. I've met a lot of concept artists where that's their life. Actually, some of the best concept artists I've met have also, which is really strange, and by the way, I'm not insulting anybody by saying that. I'm really sorry if anybody's offended by this, if any concept artist sees this, but some of the best artists I've met have also been some of the creepiest guys I've ever met. Not all of them, of course not all of them. Some guys are the coolest guys ever. They do this balance thing really well. I think if I look at one of my teachers, I cannot remember his last name. His name was Raj, and that guy worked on the Avengers and things of that sort. He worked on a lot of movies. That guy was 40. At the time, he was 40 when he was my teacher, but he looked like he was 32 or something. Like, I was like, whoa. That guy, he was built, you know what I mean? He worked out. He had a great wife. I think she was also an artist. I'm not sure. That guy, I look at that guy, I'm like, wow, amazing. But, then, like, the vast majority of not all of them, but, good amount of them were very strange, socially awkward guys. And I always kind of told myself I didn't want to be a socially awkward guy, even if it cost me some of my art ability. And that might be a decision you have to make in the long run. What is it that you want really bad, or can you balance them both? Because like I said, I've seen people balance them, but the vast majority do not. And like, I'm dealing with that even to this day. So I'll tell you where I'm at today. Kind of to learn a little bit about me. I have a very amazing life. I'm a kind of person that's not normally pleased by anything. I always find the negative. I was raised that way. My whole family was like that. They're always kind of a little bit pessimistic. It's like, oh, this is gonna happen. Like, worrisome. A little bit negative. And it's something I've been trying to kind of get rid of my whole life, and I'm still working on that. But it's going pretty good. I mean, the truth is, my life is great. It really is. I have, really good family. Now I have quite a lot of really good friends that, really good friendships. That I've taken trips, with with friends to, other countries, other cities. I volunteer at a hostel. If you know what a hostel is, kind of like, if you don't know what a hostel is, kind of like that movie Hostel. It is a, if you don't know what it is, it's basically a hotel, but for people in their 20s, and they kind of just hang out. Not hang out, sorry. They basically share a room, like 6 people per room, like bunk beds. It's like basically a cheap hotel. But it's made for people to kind of interact with each other. And they're made to be a lot funner than a regular hotel. So you'll run into people, they'll go out, they'll go drinking or something like that together. So what I volunteer for at the hostel, and I don't get paid for this, I just do it for fun, is every Tuesday and Thursdays I will run the pub crawl, which is essentially a bar hopping experience. And I will be in charge of leading, people that are not from here to different venues and bars in the area. And I've met so many people through that. I've been doing it for about 5 months. It is amazing to meet people from all over the world. I've already made some really good friends that I'm probably going to go out to visit in a couple of months here. Probably around the end of December, I'm going to go visit them. It's, been a great experience. So, like, where I'm at right now, I mean, in terms of, like, my life being, really positive, I'm doing what I want. This stuff here, everything on YouTube, YouTube is pretty much like I'd lose, despite everything I said, if I didn't have drawing, if I didn't have painting, if I didn't have digital painting, if I didn't have any kind of art in my life, I think I would lose my mind. And then vice versa. If, I had no friends at all again at this point, I had no sort of semblance of anything social at all, I would also lose my mind. So it's weird. That balance will always exist, and it is something that will never go away, And I'll get different advice from people. Some people do it great, like I said, and some people I see don't do it that great. Some people don't want it. I almost wish I didn't want it. I almost wish I could just sit inside all day like I used to and do that, but I'm not that kind of person, I have, like I said, really good friends right now. I'll say this, currently I have the best social life right now that I have ever had in my entire adult life. Actually, probably in my entire life. And that's something to say, right? Now I just kind of, what is it that I want now, right? I want to kind of put the gas on the pedal. My gas on the pedal. I want to put my foot on the pedal and really rev up the gas. And I want to do more of what I'm doing now, only at a higher volume, a higher quality. I want to get more done in every which way. I would like to maybe go on more trips, with friends. For the channel, for the YouTube channel, I want to put a higher output maybe of videos. I want to learn a lot more about everything. I'm going to start putting watercolor stuff on here. I want to learn a lot more about everything to bring it to you guys, to just anyone watching, anyone willing to watch. Excuse me. I want to, work out, just for myself, for my heart rate, things of that sort. I want to feel better, in terms of my health. I want to meditate more. I want to do new activities. I kind of want to do everything within my own little world, and I'm aware that this is my own little world, But like I said, the balance will never go away, I think. Anywho, it's 4 a.m. right now. I would love to fix my sleep. That would be another one. I would love to fix my sleep somehow. My sleep schedule is so messed up. But I was going to tell you... Whoops, the camera cut out. Anyways, that's pretty much it. Thanks a lot, guys. This is the first kind of spilling the brain kind of rant that I've had on this channel. I've had definitely rants, but not so much this personal. So, anyways, thanks a lot, guys. I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this, video, press a like. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments below, and I'll see you next time. Okay? So, have a good day.